found her body. There's no lie about that. We wouldn't lie to you about finding your dead wife.
Well, I don't believe that she's dead. Like,
Do you not believe that I'm telling you that?
This is Armando Zamora. Right now, his only brain cell has come to the startling realization that he is the prime suspect in the murder of his own wife. And as he not only talks himself into a murder charge,
Whether you tell us anything or not, I'm going to charge you with murder tonight. Why?
Armando is about to realize that he's walked himself into it too.
Your ankle bracelet shows you at her house. That guy's camera shows you at her house alone. Like it's stacked up against you, bro.
Tragically, Erica Zamora had been buried in a place that Armando hoped no one would find. But with the discovery of her body, everything that Armando hoped to hide has been blown wide open. And now detectives have just one single question.
How do you explain you being in the exact spot where she is found dead for Erica's sake, man, for her family's sake? Just tell us what happened on that mountain.
By September 26, 2021, 39-year-old Erica Palomares Zamora of Arenas Valley, New Mexico, had seemingly dropped off the face of the planet. According to friends and family, Erica was joyful, high energy, and the kind of person who stayed in constant contact, always checking in and always showing up, which is why a full week of radio silence was so alarming. By October 1st, the people closest to her realized something was seriously wrong and filed a missing person report with the New Mexico State Police. And as the search for Erica intensified, one person stood out immediately: her husband of 11 years, Armando Zamora. While investigators worked with Erica's family to look for any sign of her, Armando was the only one who seemed completely unconcerned and brushed off her disappearance like it was normal. This immediately made him the primary person of interest, and soon Armando was brought in for questioning, with one question hanging over detectives' heads. Was he behind Erica's disappearance? And if he was, why? And at this point, detectives have no idea just how many devastating secrets Armando is hiding. The following footage was kindly provided to us by the New Mexico State Police.
All right, Armando. So I think you understand why you're here, is that? You know why you're here?
yes.
So tell me what you think you're here for.
Well, the state police called me today around 1 or 2, you know, and I guess they put out a missing report on my wife.
Okay.
And she can't be found.
Okay. So what can you tell me about that?
Last time I had seen her was on Tuesday.
On Tuesday?
Yeah, I was going to work, and then on Tuesday I was going to work in the morning, and I went to my grandma's, and it started raining, so I called my boss, and so it started raining maybe around 8 or something like that. So I didn't go to work, so I stayed over there at my grandma's for a little bit.
Okay. And then, so your wife was with you?
No,
Okay.
I had dropped her off
Where did you drop her off?
at her house.
Do you know the address there at her house?
I think it's
Okay.
Can you spell it?
So what, you dropped her off Tuesday morning, what time?
Around 7. Oh,
The recorder. Everything's being recorded here, bro.
huh?
Everything's being recorded. It's still recorded.
Oh,
Tuesday, you said at what time?
around 7.
Around 7.
You know, she was kind of upset. She's always been a drug addict, and she told me that she wanted to go on a drug run. You know,
When did she tell you this?
I was Monday
Monday.
and Tuesday. She was talking about that. She's, you know, she had showed me pictures on her cell phone of, you know, big old shards like that.
Okay.
And I told her, you know, I'm on probation. I can't be around that stuff. And, you know, she hangs around like, you know, like gangsters and just bad people, you know, thieves and stuff like that. And I told her I can't be around people like that.
It's ironic that Armando claims he can't be around bad people, when that's exactly what he is. The reason he's even on probation is because in 2019, he was convicted of 2 counts of criminal sexual contact with a minor. Worse yet is the fact that the victim in that case was Erica's niece, who was below the age of 12. So the whole holier-than-thou route isn't really working out for Armando, considering he's far worse than the people he's trying to distance himself from.
I'm just going to back up a little bit. So Tuesday at 7, you said you dropped her off in her house. You went to your grandma's.
Yeah.
It was raining, so you called in to work. So you didn't go to work on Tuesday.
Well, I was going to go to work, you know what I mean? But when I had got to Central, it started raining, so I called my boss and I told him, while it's raining over here in Central, he's all, while it's not raining over here, he says, give me a call like in 30 minutes, an hour or something. So I called him within that time. By that time it was raining. So,
okay.
You know, anyways, I had went after my grandma's, I had went to her house.
Mm-hmm.
I knocked on the door and there was no answer.
What time was that at?
I don't know, probably like 3 or something, 3:30.
Okay. And there was no answer at her trailer.
At her trailer, no.
Okay. So let's go back one more day. So what about Monday? What did you guys do on Monday?
Well, I had went to work on Monday.
On Monday you went to work.
Yeah.
And what kind of work do you do?
I do landscaping.
Oh, okay. And what hours did you work on Monday?
On Monday? I'm not too sure. I think it might have been 8 to about 2 o'clock.
Okay. And where was your wife?
She was there at the house.
At yours or?
At my.
At yours.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sunday, what happened on? Anything happened on Sunday?
On Sunday, we went to go and cut wood.
Okay.
And we got there around. We got there maybe around like 12:30.
Okay.
And it started to rain, so we had to come back.
Where did you guys go to cut wood at?
At over there in Mindes.
Okay.
At North Star.
At North Star.
That's what it's called.
Okay. So you got up there. You said about 12:30. Started
to rain on us. So. Yeah.
Did you go? So you didn't go back to cut wood. Did you go on Saturday to cut some wood up there?
Saturday? I think so.
Okay. Just don't
Oh no, you know what? On Saturday, no. Well, you know what we did? Actually, it was her birthday.
Saturday was her birthday.
Yes,
okay.
On Saturday we went to go cut wood and came back home.
Okay.
The most important part of Armando's story is that the two went to cut wood for Erica's birthday sometime over the weekend. And to recap, since they didn't live together, Erica stayed with him for 2 days and Armando claims he dropped her back off at her residence on Tuesday. But there's one problem with that story. The last time anyone heard from Erica was that same weekend. She even called her family ahead of time to say she'd be going with Armando. And that lines up with the date she was last heard from, Saturday, September 26th. So all things considered, Armando isn't doing a great job convincing detectives he's innocent, and it's only about to get worse from here.
After she wasn't there on Tuesday, did you try to call her or text her to see where she was at? When you went to her house and she wasn't there? No. And then Wednesday, you said you tried to call her?
Yeah, on Wednesday I gave her a call.
What time do you remember?
I don't know. I think it was probably maybe lunchtime.
Okay.
It was maybe around 12 or something. 12 or 1.
So the last time that you saw her would be when you dropped her off Tuesday morning.
Yes.
So, talk to me about the drug run. So what was she telling you?
Well, she had told me, you know, that if our life ain't gonna get together, like, you know, because it was kind of rocky. If it ain't gonna get together, that what's the need to, you know, not do drugs? So I guess she wanted to go on a drug run. That's what she was telling me.
So what are you feeling? What do you think happened to her?
I'm kind of thinking that she's out partying, you know, she's out doing her thing like that, and that's what I feel.
Yeah, if somebody called you and telling you
loses.
where she's at, or just call that number, let them know.
Yeah.
If you hear from her, if she texts you, whatever, just let us know.
And like if I see like one of her friends, which I mean that's a very rare occasion.
Yeah.
And if well, like I said, I'll ask them to see if they know where she's at or if they have seen her.
Yeah, but just be careful because like you said, a lot of her friends are felons. I don't want you to go out and get yourself in trouble being around a felon. I don't want you to put yourself out there. With your probation and stuff. So it's up to you if you want to ask them questions because if you're concerned about your wife.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm not telling you go, hang around felons trying to get information, because I don't want you to, somebody say, hey, I saw so-and-so hang around, so he's a felon, they're not supposed to be together, and then you get in trouble. I don't want you to get in trouble, man,
Yeah.
So, all
right, sounds good. We'll walk you up front and then.
Yeah, I thought when I got your guys' phone call, I thought it was the morning alarm.
Oh.
And then I was like, I know, and it was like 12. I was like, oh, what the? Okay.
Let's take a left and then there's a hallway.
After seeing Armando's complete lack of concern, detective suspicion is at an all-time high. But for now, he's still allowed to walk out after the interview, which is exactly why they dig deeper into his probation records for anything that can point them in the right direction. And they uncover a piece of evidence that blows the case wide open. Armando is on probation, which means he's required to wear an ankle monitor with GPS tracking. Investigators pulled the location history from the GPS and canvassed the wooded area where Armando claims he took Erica to cut wood. By October 3rd, they found Erica Zamora's body lying face down in the dirt, haphazardly covered with branches and leaves. This immediately made Armando go from person of interest to suspected killer, and he was promptly called in for a second interview.
Okay, so first off, have you heard anything from Erica?
I haven't.
Okay, she hasn't tried to text you, call you?
No.
What about anybody in town? Have you run into anybody in town that says anything to you?
I haven't. And like I said, like with their friends, I don't have their phone numbers or
right.
I ain't in contact with them or anything. I don't know where they live, so that's that makes it hard for me.
Yeah.
But like if I did recognize somebody, like
Yeah. No, I understand. I just have to ask though. And then what about Erica's your family? You mentioned last time they kept bugging you or asking you. Have you talked to them? Have they said?
Oh yeah, the mom has came by a few times and
really?
have asked. And I don't remember exactly the days,
Yeah.
when,
Okay.
but she has came by and asked questions and stuff like that. And I told her, well, I don't know what's going on, where she could be at, and I told her, well, I figured with one of her friends, and I told her that she was wanting to go on a drug run, and she didn't really understand what I meant by that because she's not fluent in English.
So talk to me about your GPS. So, because it gets monitored by APO, right? Or
what's that?
Your ankle,
I have an
probation,
right?
Does it get monitored or no? Like, do they monitor it?
Like,
I think so.
Do you know? So when you go wood cutting, do you have to call them like, "Hey, I'm going out of town to go get wood"? Like,
no, because it's still in Grant County.
Oh, you just can't leave Grant County.
Yeah, I can't leave Grant County. Like if I was to go to Deming, I would have to let them know and give them write down the license plate and all that stuff and where I'm going.
So do you know if
it's all monitored?
Do they know? Do they always keep track of your location? Do they do that?
I would think so. Yeah.
Does it lose service or anything out there, do you think? Because
I don't know. I would have no idea when it comes to that.
Armando, I mean, this is the second time that I met you. You seem like a good guy, man. I mean, you made mistakes in your life, and obviously you're on probation. You did some prison time for it, but you don't seem like a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like we do these investigations all the time. We talk to other people who, molestation charges and whatnot, and all that kind of stuff. And, and we can generally tell, this person is just not a good person. You know what I mean? But you don't strike that to me, right? You don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know the circumstances on that first case or whatever, but you know, I mean, that's not for me to ask and whatnot. But you don't seem like you're that bad of a guy, okay? Right? That's what I'm saying. Okay. And so after Sunday, you never went back out, right? You didn't. Sunday, you finished, and then you out during the week.
Yeah, and then I worked on Monday, and then Tuesday came around, and it started raining, and then Wednesday I went to work.
Okay. So I'm just looking at these while you guys were looking at the map. So I guess the other thing that I find odd is, so Tuesday, you said you dropped her off 6:37ish, right? That's not true. You're never at her house on Tuesday morning. I'd explain that.
What do you mean I wasn't at her house?
It shows you 7 o'clock at your house, and then at 10:32 it puts you at Snappy Mark.
So you didn't leave your house till 10:30 in the morning. Pretty much that's what that says.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, I'm sure a GPS placing you at the exact location at the exact time of a murder is just a simple coincidence. Said no one ever. And watching Armando argue with satellite data is a pretty good reminder of just how intellectually gifted he is.
Because you want to know another lie that we know? You say that when you went to your grandma's house, that your grandma wasn't there. That's what you said on Sunday, right? We talked to grandma. Grandma puts you there with her while you dump the wood, right? That's another lie.
Well, that might have been, she might have thought about that on Saturday.
What did she say for Saturday?
She couldn't remember Saturday. She said it was Sunday. So Erica's dead.
No, she's not.
I'm telling you. I have seen her. Okay?
Where did you guys find her?
If someone is told their wife of 11 years is dead, you'd expect something: shock, questions, panic, or even just, where did you find her? Armando does none of that, and it's not a good look.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm telling you, I know what happened, right? I know where she's at. I know she's dead. I've seen the injuries. But what I will never understand is what happened. Okay? When I think about it in my head, there's 2 scenarios. Okay? One scenario, you took her up there knowing that you're going to kill her because you're done with her, you don't want her in your life anymore, right? That's one scenario. Okay? The other scenario, you went up there to cut wood like you said, like normal. Something happened, y'all got into an argument. Maybe she punched you, maybe she attacked you, you defended yourself. Things went sideways and she died. Okay? I don't think it's the first one because I don't think you're a bad guy. That's what I'm saying.
That's not true.
Okay?
I don't know why you say that. That's not true.
Which one?
Well, it's not true.
When investigators first discovered Erica's body, they determined the cause of death was blunt force trauma. But what was the weapon? How was it used? And where exactly was Erica struck? Those are the answers detectives need, and they're about to press Armando until they get them.
I mean, how do you explain you being in the exact spot where she is found dead at the exact time that you say you're there, with piles of wood cut around? How do you explain that?
I don't believe that she's dead. Like,
okay. So that's what he's saying. Like, so why don't you believe it? I don't understand why you don't believe it. Do you not believe that I'm telling you that?
I don't believe it.
Like Armando, you can be in denial about it all you want because you don't believe she's dead, but I'm 100%. I had a Bible here from my hand, a Bible. We found her body. There's no lie about that. We wouldn't lie to you about finding a dead person. We wouldn't lie to you about finding your dead wife. We wouldn't lie to you about that. And like he said, that GPS, it's tracking you here right now, man. It tracks you every minute it's in the pin. Boom, boom, boom. Where her body is laying, boom, boom, boom. You're there. You're there. You're there.